Hi, my name is Vicki Conley. I'm retired now and travel a lot in my RV with my husband. We visit a lot of national parks, take a lot of pictures. When I get home, I'm always inspired to make an art quilt. I bet when you travel, you have tons of pictures as well and would love to make something into an art quilt. Well, this is the class for you. My class, Designing from Photo to Imagination, might be just the ticket. In this class, you'll be following along as I construct one of my newest national park quilts. But you won't be making my quilt. You'll be using your own photograph, your own imagination, your own design, and your own project to build your quilt. You'll learn my turned edge machine piecing technique. And it's good not only for landscape quilts, but also for animal or portrait quilts, or even abstract quilts. It's perfect for people who prefer to sew rather than glue or fuse. Have you heard of fussy cutting? Of course you have. But have you heard of fussy piecing? This is a technique I developed using gradation fabric to make a glowing sky that's a signature look of my national park quilts. Here's a little sample of that technique that you'll be learning in the class. This particular sky is in progress. You can see that I have divided this pattern up into many sections, and the key here is that I have labeled each section light, light medium, medium, medium dark, and dark. And then as I cut apart the sections for regular foundation piecing, I piece on that particular section of a gradation fabric. And you can see here by this one in progress how the sky changes from a very light going towards a very dark with this technique. I work with a half a yard of fabric at a time, and I use the whole chunk from dark to light. So the next piece to go on is this medium piece. As soon as I line it up, put a little pin in it so that it won't move when I carry it to the sewing machine. Now you see I've sewed this seam right along that drawn pencil line. And I take this and fold the whole thing back. So you fold it back and give it a little press right along where you sewed. Try not to get your iron on the paper because it is fusible and it will stick to your iron. Then you flip the whole mass back over. So then after you get all the fabric fairly flat, fold the piece back and take your scissors and cut approximately 1/4 of an inch. And sometimes you have to fold your pieces back a couple of directions. This is an outside edge here, so give yourself a generous 1/4 of an inch. I don't use a ruler. I just cut a generous 1/4 of an inch by eyeballing it. Of course, I put lettering on my national park quilts, and in the class I have a lesson on how I do that. But if you don't have the equipment to make silk screens, I also have a lesson on how to do it in an alternative way. This class has tons of tips and techniques, everything you need to design your own project and come away with a beautiful, finished, inspirational piece from your own travel photos. Join me in the class. Click through to my website, vicki-conley.com, for all the details.